Hey, hello learners. Welcome back to our live class. Okay, please let me know in the chat if I'm audible, if you all can hear me clearly, and if you can see me. So every Tuesday we meet wherein we basically learn different concepts of global perspective subject. And today is one of that live class. It's a power batch, what we call it as power class. I will be quickly sharing my laptop screen with you all. All right. Okay. So let's start with today's class. As you all can see on my screen now, we are going to learn different A star strategies to extract evidence from sources. Okay. All right. So this is our ninth class for IGCSE Global Perspective Power Batch 2026. Let's start with our let's start with my class rules. Guys, if I'm not audible, please do let me know in the chat. I hope I'm audible to you all. So first of all, turn off all the distractions for next 60 minutes. Watch this class on laptop or tablet, not on phone. Ask a lot of questions, discuss, take notes, and complete assignments on Google Classroom. Just let me check if I've opened the right folder or not. All right. So yeah, I have opened the right one. Now, today's learning objective is we will be using ASA strategy to extract evidence from the sources. Now, please note that I am using the specimen papers given on cambridgeinternational.org website. I will also link it is also uploaded on Google Classroom. It's the same specimen paper we use for reference for each and every class so that all of you have that question paper. Now, although we are going to focus more on concept in this class, but still I have taken few examples from the specimen paper. I have linked it properly. As and when we come across those examples, I'll be able to help you with exactly what you need to do. Let me reshare my screen with you all. Window. Okay. Just a moment. I'm just resharing that screen with you all. Mm, sometimes it gets difficult for me to share my screen for some reason, for some unknown reasons. Okay, it's not reflecting here. Anyways, I'll just play it on camera. All right. So now you can see my screen. Okay. So we were doing we were today we are on ninth class, wherein ASA strategy to extract evidence from the sources. In the previous class, we had learned different source evaluation technique. Today's class is focusing on, we will be focusing on one, extraction of evidence, and two, how to organize those evidence in your answer. All right. Now, quickly going through the class rules, turn off all the distraction for next, I would say, 30 to 35 minutes. Watch this class on laptop or tablet and not on your phone. Ask a lot of questions, discuss, take notes, complete assignments on Google Classroom. Okay. Then next is today's learning objective. Use ASA strategy to extract evidence from sources. Now, if you are regularly viewing these classes, please make sure that you maintain a separate notebook or at least take notes, because these are not casual videos. These are structured and more focused approach to upgrading your scores in IGCSE Global Perspective. Okay, so I will also help you with how I have planned how you should find the right fit for your learning needs from my programs. The first thing, if you only want to know the concepts of global perspective, in depth concept, understand the mark scheme, break down question types, and build academic vocabulary, then in that scenario, you should be consistently joining Tuesday's YouTube Live IGCSE Global Perspective Power Batch. That is when you are focusing on knowing the concepts in depth. What you need to do to join this class, you have to simply hit that subscribe button, put on that notification, click on that notification icon. You will be notified about each and every live which is being conducted on this channel. Now, if you want to learn how to apply the concepts in the exam, you have learned the concept, you want to learn the application of concept. All of these things is covered in Saturday's members only YouTube live. So what I do is every Saturday we do members exclusive classes wherein we focus on full answer breakdown, exam style, full worksheet practice, examiner style marking, and application based learning. That is what we focus on. If you want to join these Saturdays live, you need to click on the join button that you can see on the homepage of this channel. Follow the instructions and then become a member of this channel to be notified about the members exclusive YouTube live. Now, if you are a learner who wants structured guidance to an A star for your global perspective subject, you want to cover complete syllabus in the least amount of time for maximum marks. You want complete hand holding for this particular subject. and you want science, you want to go ahead with science backed skill based strategy, wherein you will be going lesson by lesson to complete each and every concept of IGCSE Global Perspective. In that case, you should go ahead with IGCSE Global Perspective A Star Legacy Program by Preps. And to join this A Star Legacy Program, a structured guidance to an A Star in GP, all the details are given in the description below. So there is going to be a form which you can click on. You will fill up your details and my team will get back to you with all the information with respect to A Star Legacy Program. So that generally the protocol that we follow for now is once you fill up the form, we will get connected with you. We will share all the details with you, and yeah, you can proceed with the registration for this particular course, for this particular program. All right, so today we are going to understand the skill for your evidence. First, we'll know why is it important from Cambridge perspective. So if you look at assessment objective 1 in global perspective, it talks about students must use evidence to support claims, arguments, and perspective. Analyze and evaluate sources, develop a line of reasoning. Okay, now the big question that I have for you all is, how do we know if evidence is actually useful? Whether it is your global perspective question paper, whether it is component 1 or component 2 or component 3, you end up gathering so many evidences. The major question that comes in is, how do we exactly know whether that evidence is useful? And the answer to this question is, let's first look at one example. Okay, imagine, now this example I have picked up from your IGCSE Global Perspective 2025 specimen paper given on the Cambridge website. The claim says that most people enjoy growing their own food, and that's the claim. Okay, so here in this case, what you should be uh, picking up from, what exactly you should pick up from the source. That is the first criteria of getting started. Okay, so first evidence that you can look for is whether you should look for statistics, you should look for expert opinions, you should look for personal testimony, you should look for case study examples, you can look for research reports and qualitative data or quantitative data. Let me show you. Okay, if you open the, I'll just quickly open it at my end. Cambridge IGCSE GP past paper. Let's open that. So, okay, I will be opening the paper as well as insert for your reference to show you from where I have picked up this question, so that while revising the concept, or if you're watching it later, you should be able to relate to the question that I'm talking about. Although this class is more of concept based class, but still you should be aware of these things. Just a second. Clean. Yeah. Paper this question, most people enjoy growing their own food. Now here specifically we are going to test, we are going to understand your how to look for an evidence in such questions. Obviously this question carries 8 marks. It has different multiple parts of answering. In today's class we are going to focus on the first basic part of how to look for the evidence. Okay, All right, and let's look at the source now. Most people enjoy growing their own food. This is source 3 they are talking about. Okay, so here we go with the source. If you see, look at the source over here. A school student research project. I want to learn about action to end world hunger. To get some ideas, I decided to talk to the manager of local food project in my city. Mrs. Blum was enthusiastic about success of her work and gave me permission to do the case study. The interview took place in her city farm, a large garden of old house. There were gardeners from the project working near to where the interview took place. Sometimes this made it difficult to hear what we were saying. At other times, the gardeners could also hear our conversation. I wrote some notes to help me remember what she said. Mrs. Blum said, we don't want to give away free food and make people dependent. Let's help them to solve problems for themselves and give them dignity. We teach people how to grow and sell healthy food in the market to earn money. Most people enjoy growing their own food. Now, this is the claim that we are talking about, wherein we need to show the evidence of proving the strength of this claim. Okay, and this is from a school research project in Europe in 2021. Now, one quick update I'll give you, although I have talked about it in my previous lessons or previous classes for this, especially you when you click on IGCSE course, you will be able to see that there is a strategy called as AARC strategy to identify read things. But for today, I'm going to focus more on what you need to, how you need to identify the evidence. Now, just look at the information given on the screen. Find out statistics. Underline wherever you have statistics, okay? Underline wherever you have expert opinion. Underline wherever you have personal testimony. Underline few examples given in the case study. Underline the date when it is published or accessed. Underline all the qualitative or quantitative data, whatever you can find. And once you do that, what you will do is you are going to use this test, four-part evidence test. Four-part evidence test focuses on RCRT. R, relevance, does it directly answer the question? C, is it credible? Who produced it? R, is it recent? Is it up to date? And T, is it fact, opinion, testimony, or data? Now, here in this scenario, we are most people enjoy growing their own food. Now, in this case, if we apply this four-part evidence test, consider research method and evidence that could be used, although that is the bigger part of the question, we are going to just focus on identifying whether it's the right evidence for the main question that we are looking for. Is it credible? It's given by, this statement is given by Mrs. Blum, who was enthusiastic about the success of her work. Now, in this case, there is no details shared about her credibility, apart from being enthusiastic about her work, and gave me permission to do the case study. Okay, fine. The interview took place in her city farm. See, as an analyst, you're supposed to read between lines, understand, analyze every single word given in the insert. I'm, but here you have to keep in mind you are working in a time restricted period while you're writing the answer. So I am anyways going to teach you how to utilize the time well, and what are the different strategies wherein you can conserve the utilization of time. But if you look at different credibility, you can say, okay, no, it's not great, something great, because it's done in her farm. she is enthusiastic. There is no evidence given over here that whether she is credible enough or she has some sort of verified. Here it shows her vested interest, in short. Okay, so yeah. Recent, is it up to date? No, it is 2021 data. We are sitting in 2026. It's not that recent. It's 5-year old data. Is it fact, opinion, testimony, or data? It is opinion. An opinion and argument. This is what I had covered in the first class. When you say it's an opinion, it's simply stating what you feel. I feel I am a good teacher. That is my opinion. But I feel I am a good educator because I teach using science backed, skill based techniques. That's an argument. Now, if I back it up with an evidence showing that, okay, look at my A Star Legacy course, I have designed it in such a way using scientific methods of actually improving students' grade, and then I show you the method. Okay, this is the method that I have used. DTDUR. Okay, I'm actually talking about the method that I have used in that. Here I'm attaching evidence and it becomes a strong argument. So I hope the difference between opinion and argument is very clear to you all. So that is how you identify. Is it a fact? Fact is something that sun rises from the east. It's a fact. Okay, some fact is something that is proven already. It need not be proven even more. Okay, so that is the 4-part evidence test. I hope you guys have noted it down, and we are going to move to common weaknesses in research. Now, I'm not talking about the common error over here. I am specifically talking about common weaknesses in research. What are common weaknesses? Research as in the insert that you guys are reading. Weak evidence warning signs could be small sample, only one method use, bias or vested interest, selective quotation, no triangulation, unclear research question, and outdated information. Now, if we go here on this tab, insert, what you see? The first weakness of this is it a small sample? Yes, because very first of all, it's not even the sample size only is not given in the date in the source. That is one. Second, you will ask yourself, okay, only when one method is used. Yes, only one method. You cannot draw major conclusions using only one research method. Bias or vested interest? Yes, for Mrs. Blum, she has some vested interest, and also if you see, sometimes this made it difficult to hear what we were saying. Again, over here it shows that unclear information, or maybe error in noting down, because the student was not very clear. Okay, all right. Research questions. Now the 3-step evidence extraction method is one. Find. This is the technique I want my students to use. Find, so highlight facts, highlight quotes, highlight example, highlight statistics. When you highlight it, then and there label it what kind of evidence it is. What kind of evidence? You will write it from here. This is the evidence. So these are the different types of evidence: statistics, expert opinion, personal testimony, case study examples, research reports, qualitative data, quantitative data, so on and so forth. What are the different types of? Then you will also talk about, okay, label it. Okay, judge. Is it strong, weak, biased, limited, or useful? Now, how will you judge it? I have given the common weaknesses over here. You will pick it up from this thing and then judge. Write it over there. It's a small sample. only one method is used, it's bias or vested interest, selective quotation, no, whatever, whichever fits in the label, you can use it. Okay, once you're done annotating these things in your insert, you get clarity in, okay, you get clarity in actually figuring out what you need to do next. Okay, just a moment, guys. I will need to again put the camera on. Okay, so now I am going to give you some time to use these strategy for this practice source. A survey of 800 students found that 68% trust online news less than television news. However, the survey was carried out by a TV broadcasting company. Now, quickly use the strategy taught. So, what you have to do is you have to find one strength, you have to find one weakness, you have to find one useful evidence point. Please make a note of it. I'll give you exactly 1 minute to do that in the chat. One strength, one weakness, and one useful evidence point. Quickly for this one. Yeah. Okay. A survey of 800 students found that 68% trust online news less than television news. However, the survey was carried out by a TV broadcasting company. Now, one strength, one weakness. Come on, I have already talked about this. Evidence can look like. First thing you will annotate it. Statistics, expert opinion, personal testimony, case study example, research reports, qualitative data, quantitative data. Next, what you're going to do is you will use this common weakness. I believe you all have noted it down or taken a screenshot. Weak evidence, warning signs, small sample, only one method used, bias or vested interest, selective quotation, no triangulation, unclear research question, outdated information. Okay, guys, let me tell you one more thing. I have always observed this in my learners. They tell me, okay, ma'am, I will take a screenshot of whatever you have written on the screen, because I personally believe in science backed skill based learning techniques. I have also done some sort of reading wherein and research, I would say, wherein I have understood that learners tend to remember things, or humans in general tend to remember things when they note down, because we are using maximum cognitive ability, and cognitive, more than cognitive ability, we are using maximum senses when we are writing. You have to use your hand, you have to use your brain, eyes. So in that case, you tend to remember. If you just take a screenshot and keep it somewhere, you will never remember. It will just lie in that document forever. So please make a note of these things. You can pause the video here, make a note. Even if I'm going a little fast, the best part of doing it virtually online on YouTube is you can always pause, you can lower the speed, you can increase the speed. So use it, okay? And give me in the chat. Give me all the answers in the chat here. I'm reading all your answers. You have to give me one strength, one weakness, and one useful evidence point from this. So, one strength is what? It's a survey of 800 students found. So, 800 students, it's a good sample size. And it found that 68% trust online news less than television news. Now, that is the strength. If you talk about the weakness, the survey was carried out by a TV broadcasting company. So, it can be biased or it can have vested interest. Okay. And The third one was one useful evidence point. One useful evidence is 68%. Which type of evidence it is? It's statistical data. You have to use these keywords in your answer when you frame it, but for now we are focusing on understanding the concept. If you have already joined Saturday's members exclusive batch, we also discuss exam question papers in the class with respect to the strategies that we have learned, so you tend to also learn how to apply those concepts in the exam. Okay. All right. So I have already answered these three things. Now, which is the strongest evidence over here? One more question. School uniforms improve discipline. One teacher says to school students behave better. A school report from 2014, a recent study across 100 schools, and a student blog with strong opinions. Again, mind the word opinion. I've reiterated this thing that opinions versus argument always wins, because opinion is what somebody believes is true, it might not be. An argument is what somebody believes it's true based on some evidence. So the correct answer over here is what? Let me know in the chat. Okay, the correct answer is a recent study across 100 schools. Why? Because if only one teacher says students behave better, it is not enough data. Sample size is almost negligible. It's a personal opinion, I would say. It is not even research. A student report from 2014, 12-year-old report, too old. It might not fit today's world. A recent study across 100 school, good sample size. Even if you consider one school having 100 students, it is still a good number. And a student blog with strong opinion, it is weaker than C for sure. And again, the word opinion. If it would have been argument, then I would have still thought about it, but not opinion for sure. Okay. So I hope how to identify strong evidence is crystal clear. I'm trying to break it down into small simple strategies so that it's easy to learn. That is how I personally love learning. Okay. Now, what we have learned is how to identify the evidence. Now, let's understand how to organize evidence like an A star student. And then, for organizing the evidence, you will use this simple strategy: claim, that is, state your point; evidence, you put the evidence, whichever statistic, quote, example; explain, why does that evidence support your main point; and evaluate how strong or limited that evidence is. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if this is what you're looking for. If not, let me know in the chat, what you're looking for exactly, so that it can be curated accordingly. Okay. All right. So, okay, evaluate how strong or limited it is. Okay, fine. Perfect. Please make a note of it. Pause the video here, take a screenshot, and note it down later, whatever suits you. But I always tell my students to note down things. Okay. Now I'm going to show you one model answer how it can be written. A strong way to test claim would be to use a survey of large sample people who grow their own food. This would provide quantitative data showing how many actually enjoy it. Quantitative, it's a keyword over here. Keyword means basically the word that conveys more relevant meaning, more relevant, or rather, I would phrase it like a keyword is a word that is quite relevant to the subject. Okay, so quantitative, qualitative, evidence about why they enjoy or dislike it. Using both methods, it's stronger because it gives more than one type of evidence and reduces the weakness of relying only on one source. I hope I'm clear until here. Quickly, let me take you through what we have learned today. So, yeah, I'll start from, let's say, slide number one. Okay, this is what we were doing. A star strategy to extract evidence from sources. Class rules you all know. Today's learning objective, learn how to extract evidence from the sources. Okay, these are how I help students in global perspective in IGCSE and O levels also. This is also applicable for O level. So if you only want to know the concepts, you should be joining Tuesday's YouTube live, which you can join by hitting that subscribe button. If you want to learn how to apply the concept in the exam with the real examples, application based strategies, and all of that, in that case, you should join my Saturday's members exclusive YouTube live, and wherein I do full answer breakdown, worksheet practice, examiner style marking, application based learning. Everything is covered over there. And to join Saturday's members exclusive live, you'll need to hit that join button on just next to the subscribe button. Okay, then you have to follow the instructions. And the last one is for structured guidance to an A star in global perspective. It is a premium program that we have in kapreps, that is IGCSE Global Perspective A star legacy program. It is designed by team of experts headed by me, wherein we have designed focused and rigorous structure program to an A star. If you want to get maximum marks in minimum investment of time, this is what you should go for. Here you will end up saving a lot of time. And to do that, to join this structured guidance to an A star in global perspective, that is your A star legacy program, the details are given in the description. Then we started with the question, then we focused on this claim. I will move to the important slides. Okay, evidence can look different. I hope you guys have noted it is down. Statistics, expert opinion, personal testimony, then you have case study example, research reports, qualitative data, quantitative data, so on and so forth for evidence. Whenever you identify the evidence, annotate it over there. Then 4 part evidence test, which is R stands for relevance, C stands for credibility, R stands for recent, whether it is up to date, and T stands for type. Then we covered common weaknesses in the research, weak evidence warning signs, small sample, only one method used, bias or vested interest, selective quotation, no triangulation, unclear research question, outdated information. 3-step evidence extraction method, these are the methods. And yeah, we discussed few practice questions for today's class. I hope in short, in those quick 35 minutes, we have covered a lot of global perspective. And that is what my agenda. I personally your time optimally in IGCSE, because you have so many subjects to do. You should be focusing on proven strategies. You should stop wasting your time in doing trial and errors in IGCSE. And most importantly, you should follow science backed skill based strategy rather than doing donkey work. Okay, it should be optimized, and I don't believe in giving homeworks to my student, because I want every learner at my end to be a holistic learner. And when you give homework, you have school to attend, you have my courses, and if in addition to that, if I give you homework, it is you won't be able to do any extracurriculars. Anyways, it was great seeing you all today. And if you want, see you this Saturday if you have joined members exclusive batch, and see you next Tuesday with the next concept. Signing off for today. Take care. Bye bye.